Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. I am your host, Sam Randazzo, and I am joined today by only half of my co-hosts. Unfortunately, Zolo is Los Angeles bound to see the Lions play the Chargers this weekend. And I think it's like 3:30 or 4:30 in the morning there. So we weren't going to expect him to zoom in because sleep does matter.
He's a fan.
He's a fan.
He's a fan. He just traveled to L.A. to go see the Lions play.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Don't expect him to get up for this. So we're here. We're going to do the picks as always. If somehow Zolo wakes up before then, he will be here for the picks, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. So in place, unfortunately, you're going to have to listen to Bruce make his picks today. Outside of that,
I don't have his picks.
your own picks, you dumb fuck.
Oh, my pick?
Yes, your
Yes,
picks.
let's go. Finally. We
Uncle
said
Sam-
you had to read his off, so I figured that you were going to give me his pick.
Well, so there's I forgot to text him to get his picks.
Oh, okay.
So either way, here we are. Uncle Sam, how's your week so far?
Living the dream.
I didn't introduce you properly.
I don't care. I'm living the dream right now.
I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Uncle Sam. You gotta give the people what they're looking for.
Good morning.
Whoa. You want to know what's funny? So
Yes.
my dad was watching this. I was sitting in the office the other day, and when you didn't say hello and you hit everybody with the good evening, it actually made him laugh because it's just so expected. Angie, thank you. Angie woke up and joined us for your picks, Bruce. So
Angie's a real one, that's for sure.
everyone just expects to start. out their
Why
show.
can't I see the thing anymore?
Because he's got the games in front of it today.
I'm going to pull it
We're
up
gonna
right
make
after I'm
picks at some
done
point.
putting these picks up.
I like being able to see the chats so I can
I have
respond.
this up so
to
that I
some of
can
them.
keep a record of, our picks.
So he actually knows what the fuck is going on, which is a rarity, I know. But
Anyway,
I do this every week.
anyways,
Every week.
how's your week so far?
great.
That's it. That's all I get is
That's all you're getting is good.
honest to
You
God.
know, I had some gnocchis last night.
Oh, here we go.
Italian sausage and some peppers, and they were fucking outstanding. I ate so much, I had to lay down on the floor just to digest them. And I have to say that I'm not hungry for the first time in the morning
Because you're filled with
because
potato.
I'm still full.
Potato.
What'd you get them? Antonio's?
No, we got them at the store and we got them at the market, And your
kind
Aunt
of
Laura
sauce?
made them.
What kind of sauce?
Like a marinara.
You did.
Yeah,
With
she
sausage?
made the sauces. She's good,
Good.
but the sausage and peppers with it. Oh,
Killer.
son of a bitch!
Wow. I don't think I was wondering if President Baker were going to show up for this because last time he told me he's like, I hate when you guys go in the morning because like I'm never.
I you know what I got to start doing? I got to start taking pictures of my food like Leon used to do. Take
do you know
pictures
how
of his Chinese food.
Do you know how many pictures of Wong's Fu Wall egg rolls there are in Leon's camera roll?
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Bruce, how was your week this week?
It was all right.
Any high points, low points, pits, picks?
COD came out last night. It was dog shit. Straight
What
dog
did?
shit. Call of Duty.
What did you call it?
Cod.
Cod?
Yes, that's abbreviated.
Like the fish?
Call.
Cod?
Of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Oh,
COD.
okay, I get it. I get it now.
Understand there?
I get it. Cod.
Why was it dog shit?
Because they made us pay $70 for a game that we've already had for 2 years now.
Got it.
What do you mean a game you've already had? It's supposed to be the new game, right?
Yeah, they claim it's a new game. They gave it a new title, but it's the same.
Is it the actual game or is it a promo?
add-on. It's an add-on to the one we've had for 2 years.
So that's all it is really an add-on?
Yeah, and they made us pay $70 for it
Wow.
and called it a new game.
The motherfuckers are dead. They're filthy rich, man. That gaming
They get
industry,
someone like Suey to spend $100 on it every single time.
gaming industry is
Shout
one
out
of the
to
biggest money makers there are. beside the NFL.
Maybe we should invent a video. If you could invent a video game, what would it be? Like, what would it be based about?
It would consist of a lot of hole punching.
Yeah, Vikings
Yes.
punching other Vikings in the hole.
Just punching.
Anyways, should we talk about some football?
Titty Badgett.
Titty fucking Badgett yesterday. The Carolina Panthers headed up to Chicago in a Thursday night matchup with the Bears. Chicago comes out on top in this absolute fucking dumpster fire, 16-13. And I must say, I understand not playing Justin Fields if he wasn't 100% healthy, which I don't believe he was. But my God, did I think Titty... Okay, I'm going to start with the Bears and then move on to the Panthers. I personally thought that Titty Badgett yesterday, that was fucking awful. Do you know how many times he tried to go downfield, all right, on third down, 3rd and 6, we're going to throw it downfield when you have Donta Foreman out in perfect dump-off territory ready. You got Cole Kmet over the middle. Cole Kmet had a monster game the week before last week. Why are we not trying to find this guy? I just thought he missed a lot of open guys yesterday in an attempt to stretch the field, which realistically, every time he tried to stretch a field, it was fucking 10 yards off anyways. I think that we know now that regardless of what the Bears are going to do in the future, right, because I think we're still extremely unsure on if Justin Fields is the answer, Titty Badgett is not the answer.
But Titty Badgett's fucking 2-0.
Titty Badgett's 2-0.
Yeah. That's something the guy who was drafted a lot higher, and that they're investing all this time and effort into.
All right.
And Titty Badgett is 2-0.
Number one,
I don't care. It was ugly.
Titty Badgett is not 2-0. Titty Badgett is 2-2.
2-2.
Okay.
Well, I
Titty
mean,
Badgett.
you can't allow the first game that he lost because guess what? That's the game that Fields got hurt in.
No.
Yeah.
He beat the Raiders. He lost to the Chargers, lost to New Orleans, and beat Carolina. So out of that, okay, are we really going to give a guy credit for beating the Josh McDaniels Raiders and the Carolina Panthers?
Yes.
I see. I'm not going to, and I'm going to say this much too: the Bryce Young thing.
Because the Raiders, if you remember, they trounced the Raiders. It wasn't even close.
They stomped the fucking Raiders. This whole Bryce Young thing, all right, and we've heard a lot of chatter because the Texans played the Panthers last week. We heard a lot of chatter about how people in Carolina's front office were torn between Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. Well, I've got news.
That was pretty stupid.
Got news for everybody who thought that Bryce Young was the answer. Bryce Young, in my opinion, looks
tiny.
Well, not
tiny.
only is he extremely undersized,
So what?
he looks many years greener than C.J. Stroud. Like,
Well, Stroud was a more complete quarterback in college.
C.J. Stroud
Yeah.
it came in and immediately competed at a top tier NFL level, and I mean we've seen it. He just broke every rookie passing record.
Let me
there was.
enlighten you on what Stroud is and what basically he's the best pure thrower in last year's draft. Period. I told you he was the guy that was going to shine. Not Anthony Richardson. We knew what he was.
Well, Anthony Richardson, if he wouldn't have
you know
got
what?
hurt,
Anthony Richardson is Cam Newton
conversation.
reincarnated.
Cam Newton,
Hopefully he can have a career like Cam Newton.
hopefully,
Cam Newton was successful. He made money, and he still thinks he's worth $18 million a year,
okay.
which he's not.
The Bryce Young thing. I'm gonna say this much: Bryce Young, when it comes,
I don't think he's a bad quarterback. He's a winner. Number one, he's a winner. He won a Heisman Trophy, dude. He's a winner.
when Bryce Young has the ability to get out of the pocket and get away from the offensive, get away from all the turmoil at the line of scrimmage, and get out and be able to make a throw from there, it's a thing of beauty, right? When he does that kick out and he's able to see the whole field because he can't see over his offensive line. And realistically, I think when they said that in the draft process, Bryce Young cannot see over the offensive line. That was no bullshit.
That was no
when
joke.
you get when you get 5 offensive linemen and 4 defensive front.
And I will say this, neither can Kyler Murray.
Neither can Kyler Murray. I agree with that too. Bryce Young, when he can get out of the pocket and make something happen, there's probably a few guys who are going to look as good as him. But if you could contain him and make him stay in the pocket and make him throw, it's not great. And I know it's only his first year, and they showed the graphic last night, of Joe Burrow went 1-5-1 in his first season. Josh Allen went 1-7 in his first season. Goff went 0-8 to start off his first season. And these guys have had very successful NFL careers.
Peyton Manning only won 3 games.
Yeah. Like
in his first year.
So could this just be he's that green and he needs time to adjust? 100%. But when you see what CJ Stroud did with a team that we thought was probably just as ragtag, if not more ragtag than Carolina.
Yes.
It makes what Stroud has done just that much more impressive. Outside of the fact that Carolina, from a defensive standpoint, especially without Brian Burns, is absolute dog shit. And last night, their pass catchers, I think Adam Thielen started to show his age a little bit. He's just... His route running, I don't believe, is 100% there anymore. He doesn't look that fast, right? They took Jonathan Mingo as high as they did, and he was having trouble getting open. Like, they're just not good, right? And that makes Bryce Young look worse than he is as well.
Not being able to run the football is killed them.
And you want to know what I thought was fucked up about that? Because I'm sitting there watching this, and Chuba Hubbard only got 9 carries last night. Blackshear and Miles Sanders each only got 2. Why are you putting the weight of 40 passes a game on Bryce Young right now when you went out in the offseason and got Miles Sanders, who you don't utilize whatsoever?
Don't play.
Who you have Chuba Hubbard, who has had very, very nice games in there. Is he an RB1? Is he a bell cow? No, but he's had very nice games in his career. Like, why aren't you throwing 15 carries a game at both of these guys and just letting them do their thing? I get it. Chicago is shockingly pretty good when it comes to run stopping, but Bryce Young, when you're putting 40 passes a game on him right now, seeing what you're seeing on the field.
Right, because you can't run a play action if you're not going to commit to the run.
Correct. I mean,
So you're limited in this guy with his size and what his ability is. You're limiting him to drop back, read defense, sort of football. That's something he's not going to be able to do because he can't see over his line of his offensive line.
Bryce Young completed 53% of his passes last night.
Actually, it's pretty good.
Well, because I was going to say the majority of the ones
blind.
The majority of the ones he didn't complete were he was just throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
I mean, there were more throwaways between Badgett and Bryce Young in this game.
But I'll say this, at least they didn't
force anything.
They didn't force shit to make a huge mistake.
Correct.
Neither one of them did.
The one other thing that I want to talk about this game before we move on. So Roschon Johnson was active last night for the Bears. Khalil Herbert came off of IR, but he was not active. But, I mean, it's getting hard to argue with what Donta Foreman is doing there. Donta Foreman last night had 21 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. And
that's him.
That's him. And
it's a fucking battering ram.
3.9 yards per carry. I have no issue with that. Like, you had this guy not dressing to start out the year. Okay? And again, another guy. We saw what he did last year in Carolina behind Carolina's offensive line. And he had a really, really nice little year there after McCaffrey was gone.
They were challenging for the division.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and look where they're at now. A year later, they're fucking worse than they were last year. Last year, they were actually competitive. They slapped the Detroit Lions. They slapped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this year, they're a shell of themselves.
Well, I agree with that. And
that was with fucking
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was on fire last year.
Like, Roschon Johnson only got 5 carries last night. And obviously, he's going to be your third down guy. He's more of the passing back. But when Khalil Herbert comes back, if they utilize Foreman and Herbert properly, this could be a serious running back, dude. This could be a serious backfield for them. I love watching him run the ball because exactly what you said. He's like just an absolute battering ram.
I'm going to say this right now. I wish he was in Detroit. I wish that fucker was here.
Who?
I think everybody would jump on the bandwagon of Dante Foreman.
Well, the reason why they have Donta Foreman is because we took Chicago's battering ram.
Well,
I'm David Montgomery was him just with a little, with a 4 yard per carry average.
Right.
I mean,
he's Jamal Williams.
Yeah.
He's a better Jamal Williams. He's better than Jamal Williams.
Oh, 100%.
I will say
from
that.
what I've seen.
That motherfucker, very seldom do you see him tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
No, yeah.
Very seldom.
And it's funny to me how you see a guy step in who is the 4th running back on the depth chart due to injury and come in and have the success that he's had over the last 3 weeks. It's actually pretty awesome.
And I don't think he's the 4th running back on that team.
No.
He's a clear one. He's the clear. I would play him over Herbert.
Honest to God, I think at this point right now I would.
Yeah,
too.
I would.
He's put together
he's
3.
Durable.
Yeah.
He's durable and
consistent.
He is a fuck you running back, and I love fuck you running backs.
Fuck you. Did you see anything else from this game?
He's a fuck I will running back.
He's a fuck I will running back.
Yes, and I love that.
We need to make a T-shirt with "Don't
fuck
on
I
it
will running
that
back.
just says "fuck I will."
That's actually a great idea.
Fuck I will. Did you see anything else from this game you wanted to touch on?
I don't know, dude. I mean, Titty Badgen is just there to keep his fucking fingers in the hole, keep the dike from breaking. That's all he is.
Keep your fingers in the hole.
Keep your fingers in the holes.
And keep the dike from
breaking.
Oh, wow. How have you felt so far about Montez Sweat being there?
Well, I mean, did we really get a good look at him yesterday?
No, he had 7 quarterback pressures. He had a couple knockdowns.
Which I don't know why this quarterback pressure thing is a actual statistic now. I don't fucking get it. It's either you get to the quarterback or you don't. And I hate that concept. Oh, he leads the league in pressures. So what? So what? You got to get to the quarterback. Got to get to the quarterback. And you're paying guys fucking $18, $20 million a fucking year that have single-digit sacks is not a good thing. Now, I like Montez Sweat. I thought he's a pretty good player. I think he's actually better than Chase Young. That's just my opinion. I think he's a better pass rusher than Chase Young. But you know what? He's not J.J. Watt money. No. You can't average double-digit sacks a year. You don't deserve J.J. Watt money.
Is J.J. Watt money is that the standard now?
That's the standard. J.J. Watt was making $18 million a year, but the motherfucker had 20 sacks a year. Okay? Now, they want to give $18 million to a guy that averages 7-8 sacks a year. It's a fucking joke, dude. That's a fucking joke.
Aaron Donald makes $30 million a year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and there's a
wild.
reason for that. And guess what? Chris Jones is right there with them. There's a reason for that because those guys are fucking beasts. They do more. The numbers with those two guys don't really show what they do. And this is a problem. Back when the New England Patriots were winning all these fucking Super Bowls, the guy who never got any credit was the guy who was the mainstay of their team, Vince Wilfork. Because he was a fucking nose tackle that would eat up 3 guys on every play. He would eat up 3 offensive linemen on every play. And that's why all these other guys, Chandler Jones, these other guys had successful careers because of that. But he doesn't get the credit he deserved. The guy was probably one of the best nose tackles of all time and is not getting any credit. Mm-hmm. Guys like him, the guy's a fucking beast. Haloti Ngata was a rare form of eat-up blockers and actually produce and get sacks and do all that. There's not a lot of guys that can do that. Now, everybody touts Aaron Donald. You know why? Because Aaron Donald is productive in getting sacks and whatnot. I mean, is he the best out there right now? I think Chris Jones is better than him. It's just my opinion. But Aaron Donald's a monster for a guy who's really undersized. He reminds me of John Randall, who used to play for the Vikings. John Randall was the same thing as Aaron Donald. Undersized guy, but had a fucking motor that wouldn't stop. And those are the guys that deserve the money. Because they're doing three people's jobs.
Should we get into some news?
Sure.
Let's do it.
I got some news for people.
All right, so biggest story of the week so far. We're going to go to Cincinnati, talk about the Bengals here. T. Higgins yesterday was not dressed at practice, was on the sideline. Pretty much did not participate. Jamar Chase, with his back injury, he participated in, quote-unquote, extremely limited fashion.
Yeah, he's going to try to go this week. I already said he was going to try to go.
Especially with Higgins out. I mean,
right.
You've pretty much you've got to at least give it a shot if you're him.
Well, Higgins ain't out. Is he officially out?
He's not. It's doubtful.
He's doubtful?
Doubtful.
Okay. Listen, they got guys behind them that are good. It doesn't matter. Joe Burrow's going to find somebody. Believe it. Joe Burrow is. Listen to me. There's who's that one little white dude they got?
That one little white dude they've got.
Timmy Irwin. What's his name?
I think. Hold on. I gotta find out. Hold on.
You're laughing right now, but watch. This fucking guy will have 100 yards this week.
Trenton Irwin
will have 100 yards and a touchdown this week. Guaranteed.
Were you talking about Charlie Jones?
No. Irwin. The Irwin guy, he stepped in when somebody, Tyler Boyd was hurt. The guy had like fucking 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown.
Well, if anybody needs an anytime touchdown scorer for this week, we're taking Trenton
Irwin
from the Cincinnati Bengals.
If both Chase and Higgins don't play, watch out for that guy. Watch out for him.
So there's a rumor circulating right now that the NFL has fined a player on the down low $50,000 for faking a concussion.
Who was that?
They haven't announced the name yet. The fine was appealed.
Faking a concussion.
The fine was appealed, and then it was later rescinded. But
yeah, I got a question on that.
Yeah,
how the fuck do you know? How do you know if a player has a concussion or not?
Unnamed player.
What, symptoms?
Unnamed
Does he
player.
have symptoms? Guess what? I've had concussions my whole life.
So supposedly it's because there was a sequence of events where they needed the clock to stop.
Okay.
And essentially he went down.
Okay.
There were some nods given to him by the sideline. Like, hey.
Hawkinson?
It's an unnamed player.
Yeah.
That was his leg, not his head.
And,
True that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, it happens all the time. Don't think that players don't do that.
Yeah, stop the clock. It's
Yeah.
the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fine was appealed and later rescinded.
That's just stupid. Stupid.
So Raiders ex-coach Josh McDaniels.
Oh God.
He came out in a statement this week and said that he learned the news of his firing while out trick-or-treating with his kids on Halloween.
Trick or treat, asshole! You're fired.
He said that there was never any real conversation about firing.
Dude. Listen, he couldn't be surprised by it. He
And
lost his entire locker room.
He said his wife and kids had to be called back to the house mid trick-or-treating so that he could break the news to his family.
Oh, okay.
about
What's
his
he
firing.
trying to sue Mark Davis now?
So he's
already going to get paid out.
Ruined his family's Halloween.
Whatever, dude. His contract's going to get paid out. The fucking guy's going to get $70 million. He can go fuck himself. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay? Go back and try to be a fucking offensive coordinator for Bill Belichick. Because beside that, you can't do anything else. You can't do anything else. Call Bill Belichick, give him a handy, and go back to fucking New England. Because without him, you're nothing.
He might be better off giving Robert Kraft the handy.
Whatever.
A little bit more on this. There was a report filed about why he was fired. Can you guess any reasons why
Incompetent?
Josh McDaniels was fired? Well, no. So the biggest 3 things were, quote unquote, lack of people skills, creating a bad culture. And players said that they felt overworked and not listened to.
Welcome to the real world, assholes. Welcome to the real world, you bunch of fucking pussies. That's what life is. That's what life is.
No culture, no people skills, and overwork.
That's it. If you grew up in the fucking 80s, you were part of Generation X, that's your motto for life.
Did you see during the Manning cast when Arnold Schwarzenegger was on there?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
He has a pet donkey.
Arnold does? Yeah. I seen his little documentary with that.
And he had the donkey on the Manning cast.
Okay.
And he was feeding the donkey live on the Manning cast. And I've never seen Peyton Manning's ugly, giant, four-headed self look more perplexed in my entire life.
Okay.
It was something to behold. If you haven't seen it.
Very bad TV?
It was awful. But it was like, you know when you watch a train wreck and you just see the train getting closer to hitting the car?
Correct.
And you just got to sit there and watch because you're like, this is going to be fabulous. It was awful. It was awful. But I couldn't look away from it. Absolutely couldn't look away.
I will say this.
Is this it?
Arnold's a pretty unique individual.
That's him feeding his donkey.
Yeah, that's at his house.
No, he was at his house. He was zoomed into the
he was zoomed in on the Manning cast. I thought he was live on it.
No, he was sitting behind this giant desk feeding this fucking donkey.
He wasn't smoking cigars? Shock.
There it is. There it is right there. Yeah, see?
That's awesome.
Look at Peyton.
He's like, Peyton, what the
just
fuck?
Dazed and confused.
Peyton Manning's like, what the fuck am I watching right here?
What the fuck is going on?
Huh. It's awesome.
Also, Peyton did the opening monologue for the Country Music Awards.
Okay.
And he asked the crowd, do you know the difference between Taylor Swift and the Jets?
Okay.
And he said that Taylor Swift can sell out a stadium.
Oh, wow.
Taking shots. Wow. Just a quick piece of George Pickens news before we move on.
This is another joke. I read this morning. Go ahead.
He did remove all of the Steelers content from his Instagram page. And then I guess Najee Harris chimed in this week and said that he does not condone George Pickens' behavior online. And that last game when he freaked out on the sidelines, he went up to him and told him that he quote unquote needs to keep his composure. There's nothing wrong with being frustrated, but you need to learn how to handle things.
That's called being a professional.
Yeah. So you want to know what I don't understand?
It's hard with young guys to pull in emotions. I've seen DK Metcalf do that on multiple and probably 5 games, 6 games. That he loses his fucking composure.
Here's the thing. I have no issue with them freaking out on the sideline. Smash the fucking iPad, throw your helmet, freak out. That's all fine, right? That's in reality, that shows that you care. That's part of the game. You want to have your meltdown at 23 years old on the sideline like a fucking child. God bless you. But when you take it the step further and create the frenzy that's going to happen, when you know you are playing for a professional sports team and you have their shit riddled all over your Instagram, and you take everything off, you know that's going to create a frenzy. You know that's going to create noise. You know the media is going to be asking you about that rather than the game at hand, right? When you throw a fit on the sideline, it happens on Sunday and it goes away on Monday. When you do this, it just lingers and creates more of an issue.
Right.
That's bullshit.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how young you are.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
That's the point where you need to remember you're getting paid millions of dollars to play the child's game.
To play a fucking game.
Grow up.
Stop already. I remember the time that fucking Peyton Manning lost it on Jeff Saturday on the sideline.
Jeff, shut the fuck up.
He was fucking mic'd up, and Jeff Saturday's like, we need to win the football. Peyton's like, just shut the fuck up and play center. That's all you need to do. Shut the fuck up and play center. And then Peyton went and sat down, and then he said, you know what, guys? I'm mic'd up. I just did that, and I'm mic'd up. I was dying laughing. I thought it was awesome. You know what? Those two are fucking best friends. Those two are best fucking friends. So guess what? You're going to lose your composure sometime during a game. On the sideline, whatever, dude. You're going to lose your shit. We get it. But you got to be a pro. You got to be a fucking pro.
Amen.
And stop using social media to fucking taunt your little tantrums. Stop. It's just stupid. Stupid.
Oh, also,
Stop being a pussy.
one thing before we move on to the picks. Did you see who Titty Badgett's dad is?
I told you he's a professional arm wrestler.
Travis Badgett.
That guy will whoop your ass.
Known to many in the sport as, quote unquote, the Beast. The Beast.
I told you guys this last week.
He is but it goes deeper than this. He's a 28-time wrist wrestling world champion.
He'll rip your shitting arm off.
They asked.
That's a quote from a movie. It was called Over the Top. It was Sylvester Stallone.
If you run, I'll rip your fucking arm off.
No, it was a quote from.
That's a quote from Mike
the movie
Botcher.
Over the Top. It was about arm wrestling, and there was a big giant bald guy on there who told Stallone to get in here. I'm gonna rip your shitting arm off.
I like the Botcher quote better. If you run, I'll rip your fucking arm off.
That's hearsay.
Objection, hearsay.
Objection, hearsay.
So, and they asked Titty about his dad.
Yeah.
And he said he never worked an actual job. He made enough money off of fucking arm wrestling to where he never had to work. He just fucking arm wrestled.
Listen, back in the day, arm wrestling was huge. They made a fucking movie about it. Hello? It was huge. And guess where he made his money? He probably made all his money on side bets.
Probably.
They were doing like the people used to do in the bowling alleys. Tank for a couple of weeks, come in and take fucking 20, 30 grand off of somebody.
A little sidebar. How the fuck did you guys drink this many Alani News?
Because I drink 3 a day. I drink 3 a day.
Holy shit.
I drink 2 in the morning.
I drink 3 a week.
We had like 10 boxes.
Oh, there's a bunch up on the.
Oh, we still have more?
Yeah, it's up on top of this.
Anyway.
The reserves.
I'm gonna open this. God dang it.
Why?
'Cause I don't want Witch's Brew.
We got any chat going on right now? Anybody fucking
Angie's with us.
What the fuck, dude?
Us.
I don't see anything.
Angie came in. No,
Can you make that shit a little bigger so I could see
Angie chimed in and he said that Bruce wrist wrestled with himself this morning.
Bruce wrist wrestles with his penis every day.
Penis wrestling.
Got that right.
He's
Bruce
a penis
is the
wrestler.
world penis wrestling
Got that
champion,
right.
Angie.
World tug and rub
You
champion.
have to remember, this is the thing. When we do the early morning shows,
Yeah.
we get a little
Normal people are at work.
Yeah,
That's where I should be.
at
I think
work.
we need to hurry up.
at work or asleep.
The morning shows get more views though.
Because it's out and people will watch it throughout the day. So it's a double-edged sword. We get more views throughout the weekend on the morning show.
Bruce loves double-edged swords.
Anyways,
Double-ended swords.
should we go on to the
Not
picks?
wrong.
Let's do the picks. All right, week 10 is here. We don't have Zolo. Bruce's
I don't
picks-
like not having Zolo here, and I'm going to say this. I miss his ass with this little, Michigan's the best. Jim Harbaugh sucks.
Now that he's not here, he's gonna make fun
Way.
of him.
Have him tell me about Bill Belichick and the Patriots. How he says it, Patriots.
way.
You might be shocked by the first game then.
Huh?
Yeah, you might. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Patriots to start it off.
Anyway.
But if you check out our Instagram tomorrow's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work on this on the plane. If you check out our Instagram, Zolo's picks will be on there when we post our picks.
Okay.
So just because they're not going to be live, Zolo's picks
They will be posted.
They will be on Instagram. And I've also made another executive decision from now on when I do the picks. I don't want anyone to see my eyes. So I'm going to wear the Coach Prime glasses when we do the picks.
I don't know what the fuck all that means, but okay.
Okay. First up, in the last 9:30 a.m. matchup of the year, live from Deutsche Bank Stadium in Frankfurt, Germany. The Indianapolis Colts are taking on the New England Patriots in a game that is going to be a reason for German citizens to drink everywhere, because you're going to need to have plenty of Hefeweizen.
I don't think you will have to worry about that. They will be obliterated at 8 in the morning.
Who's going to be swaying more? Bruce next week when the Lions play the Bears, or all of the people in Lederhosen watching this dumpster fire?
Lederhosen.
Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph.
Shout out to Joe Venditti, the swear.
And you'll have to
Oh,
climb it.
no. I forgot. He's sober.
What?
Joe's sober.
What do you mean sober? You quit drinking?
He's doing a sober month, he told me.
A sober month?
A sober month.
So he missed sober October.
Is he got
No, he did
to
sober
move out?
October.
Oh, he did.
He did
Sure
sober
about that?
Well, I don't know. You would know better than me.
You sure about
Was he
that?
sober October at the Lions games?
Nope.
No.
Oh, he told me on
Sober.
Halloween we were doing a toast, and he said he couldn't do it because it was sober October.
Wow. Anyway,
I
Anyway.
remember
swear.
buying him one of those fucking Bud Light seltzer things.
Oh God,
listen to me. He'll never lose that nickname.
the swear,
The 3 times that I've seen
Swear.
him, he's been swaying all 3 times.
Joe swear.
The swear.
This game, Indianapolis is a 1.5 point favorite. Actually, it's too dark in here to wear those. Shit.
Okay.
Indianapolis 1.5 point favorite. The over under is 43 at Deutsche Bank Park.
43.
Over under is 43.
I'm going to take the under and the New England Patriots to win.
Wow. Coming out.
You get that,
hot.
Bruce? Under and New England to win.
I'm doing the same thing.
Okay.
I'm going to go the opposite of both of you guys. I'm going to take the over in this game, and I'm going to take the Colts to cover and win this. It's New England. Like, they're awful.
You know what? Like you've always told me, a blind nut or a blind squirrel can
finds
find a nut.
every once in a
That's
while.
what's going to happen
And
this
it's in
week.
Germany.
Listen, they played hard last week. They should have won that game last week. And I think if they put toward an effort
Mac
like
Jones
they
didn't throw
did,
an interception right there at the end. They probably would have.
I think if they could put together another week like they did last week, I think they'll win this game.
See, Angie agrees. Look at that.
Listen, here's the thing, all right?
Bruce, make the chat a little bigger for me, please.
For some reason,
Are you forgetting who's playing quarterback for the Colts this week?
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. Well, here's Minshew's MO. 1 week he'll have fucking 10 points. The next week he'll have 30. So he had a shitty week last week. I'm expecting him to put some numbers up this week.
I think for some I don't know why. All right, did you see what came out about Bill Belichick yesterday?
What's that?
There was Ring camera footage of him leaving some 20-year-old girl's beach house with no shirt on her Ring camera in Nantucket. So Patriot way.
He was tucking it.
Patriot way. I just think there's a lot of noise going on right now with the Patriots. I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't think Mac Jones is good. I don't think Mac Jones is good on a national stage. I don't think Mac Jones will be good after traveling all the way to Germany. And do I think Gardner Minshew is good? Or as I'm going to call him this week, Gunther Minshew is good? No, I don't. But at the end of the day, if the Colts are smart, what they're going to do is they're going to run the ball down New England's throat with Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor.
I think you're going to see that on the other side.
Jonathan Taylor's starting to get hot. I'm going to take the Colts run game here. And you're missing a lot of guys in that defensive front for New England still.
Who?
Matt Judon's still not playing.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. You got the inside guys is what matter there. Dietrich Wise is playing this week. Barrymore is playing this week.
Barrymore is not playing. He's out.
He's not playing. He's out.
Barrymore's out.
Ah, shit.
Jawan Bentley is also questionable.
It doesn't matter because you got Tavai.
That's true. But
Tavai has been
and
solid.
this is another key to this game.
Okay.
Dietrich Wise might not play. So now you're going to be down Judon and
If
Wise.
there's anybody that can scheme to stop the Colts running game, it's Bill Belichick.
And they left J.C. Jackson in Boston
Okay.
because they called it a personal reason that he's no longer committed to the game. Whatever the fuck.
The game of football?
Correct.
Okay.
he's Marvin Jonesing.
So they left him.
Marvin Jones is a better reason.
They left him
Anyway,
in Boston.
We'll
I
see
just
what
think there's
happens.
too much going on there right now. It's too
we'll see what
noisy.
happens.
I'm going to take Indy,
Okay.
and I'm going to take the over because both these teams' defense is absolute dog shit. Moving on. The Houston Texans are heading up to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The Bengals sitting at the absolute bottom of the AFC North at 5-3. And Houston sitting pretty in second place in the AFC South. Cincinnati, though, is a 6.5-point favorite in this game. The over-under is 47. Again, Cincinnati has 2 extremely questionable receivers. But the Texans are getting Derek Stingley back off of IR. What do you think happens here?
I'm going to take, what's the over again? 47?
47.
47. I'm going to take the over, and I'm going to take the Bengals.
Why?
Just Joe Burrow. No, I'm going to say Joe Burrow.
I'm also going to take the Bengals in this to cover and win. I'm not going to do it because of Joe Burrow. I'm going to do it because I think Cincinnati's defense matches up extremely well against this Houston passing.
Here's the thing with Houston. They can't run the football. They haven't been able to run the football the last 2 weeks. And if you got Stroud going to be dropping back 50 times a game, I don't think they don't have the bullets to beat Cincinnati.
I agree. This is the thing. Houston physically does not have a run game right now.
Correct.
Dameon Pierce has been nothing but a disappointment this year, and I don't think Devin Singletary's that good.
This scenario says Joe Mixon all over it.
It
says Joe Mixon all over it.
This is a big Joe Mixon game written all over it. I agree. Houston, Kami Fairbairn, their kicker, probably won't play, so they're going to have their backup running back kicking
what was
fucking
his name?
field goals again. Kami Fairbairn.
Yeah, that motherfucker. He cost me a game last week.
Yeah, I just don't think I don't think they're going to be able to put it together. Even with all the injuries Cincinnati has, if they just get Joe Burrow working and they get Joe Mixon working and they make Burrow do the absolute minimum that he needs to do to win this game and let their defense stop this passing attack, they should be able to win. Give me Cincinnati. I'm going to take the under in this, though. And I know that's shocking because we have 2 extremely high-powered offenses here.
Okay.
This, to me, just has the makes of it's going to be a slow game, punch in the mouth.
I think you're going to see some action in this game, big time.
Next up, the New Orleans Saints. What the fuck was that?
Morning burps.
You burp like
I
a
just
bitch.
fucking-
Anyways, the New Orleans Saints are heading up to Minneapolis to play the Vikings.
I'll give you a better one.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
At 1 o'clock?
At 1 o'clock at home for Kirk Cousins. Oh, Kirk Cousins is dead. Sorry. New Orleans, 3-point favorite in this game, over under a 41. Here's the fucked up part about this. We don't know who the starting quarterback is for the Vikings.
What do you mean?
There's speculation that if what's his name?
Dobbs?
No, there's speculation that if what's his name is ready to go, whoever the actual backup was,
The guy who went down.
guy who went down.
Allen? What's
What?
his name? What's that guy's name?
I'm trying to think of it right now.
I
and
don't even
can't.
know.
I'm looking. But there's speculation that if Jaron Hall,
Jared Hall. Yeah.
clears a concussion protocol today, he will be the starter.
Oh, give me a break. He's not better than Josh Dobbs. What the fuck?
Just telling you how it is.
Is on the Minnesota website as the starting quarterback.
So that changes some things for me. Because-
I don't know why they would do that. They see you see what happened last week on a guy who was there, didn't even know the fucking playbook. Why would you even think about playing a guy like Jared Hall?
I don't know.
He does know the playbook.
Huh?
He does know the playbook, and he was doing dog shit when he was playing.
I mean, he got hurt. I mean,
yeah, he got
what-
hurt, but it wasn't
mean-
right away.
So
I don't know.
Jaron Hall,
I wouldn't change a thing because I'm sure Dobbs has a better grasp of what's going on the field now than opposed to a guy who's in concussion protocol.
well,
That makes no sense to me.
according to the Vikings,
Whatever.
Jaron Hall.
whatever, then guess what? If
one.
that's what's happening here and they're not going to play Josh Dobbs, it's real simple where I'm going. Real fucking, so what's he over?
41.
41. And the point spread?
New Orleans is a 3-point favorite.
I'm going to take New Orleans in the over.
You know something? I think I'm going to agree with you. Here's the thing. Kamara's hot. Derek Carr has been hot.
They're not using Kamara enough. Listen, they got their own issues.
Correct.
But they better
think
fucking turn it loose here this week.
This is what I'll say. It's starting.
Yeah.
It is starting to turn like they know.
Michael Thomas is being underused. Chris Olave is being
His
underused.
toe is stuck.
You can go down, and for
Michael
some
Thomas
reason they're
stuck.
trying to make this the Taysom Hill fucking gimmick show. I hate that. They need to stop fucking doing that.
Honest to God, just to talk about Angie's comment here, he said either tanking or Dobbs doesn't know the plays yet. Dobbs might not know the playbook yet, but there's a lot of people who think that the Vikings are playing Jaron Hall to actually fucking tank this shit, to be able to take a quarterback and move on from Cousins.
Yeah, but then why go win the game last week?
Because it was a cute story.
I don't think that.
I don't know.
They're still.
We
in the
will
hunt.
see, but Josh Dobbs, I think really.
Josh Dobbs doesn't play this game, they lose. Period.
So I'm
I
going to
think
take.
even if he does, they lose.
I'm going to take New Orleans. And
I
I'm gonna
don't.
take-
Orleans deep.
I don't.
Shut
I think if Josh Dobbs is starting, I think they have a really good chance to beat them.
On the
Because you only got a couple more weeks before Jefferson will be back.
Jefferson should be back next.
Yeah, they're talking like, oh, Jefferson's not coming back to his hammies 100%. That's bullshit. He'll be back.
I think that I think the over is going to hit in this, and I'm going to take New Orleans -3. Either way, yeah, I really don't give a shit who plays. Next up, the Green Bay Packers are heading to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Green Bay sitting at 3-5, and then third in the NFC North. Pittsburgh sitting at 5-3, and second in the AFC North. In this game, Pittsburgh is a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 39. I can tell you one thing for damn sure. I'm taking the under in this game. Without question, I am taking the under in this game.
Got no faith in Kenny fucking Pickett, bud?
No, I
Okay.
don't. A couple things that I like out of this, though. We saw them actually realize that Najee Harris had a pulse last week, and they started to feed him a little bit. I like that. He's up to 100 carries on the year now, and his average is higher than it has been in his entire career.
I like the usage of both of their guys. Jalen Warren, too.
I do as well.
I like him, too.
So if they can do that and keep the ball out of Pickett's hands and actually utilize their running backs the way they should,
And play defense like we know they can.
like we know they can, this will be good.
Which is the deciding factor of this game, basically.
Correct. Obviously, we don't know what to expect from George Pickens. We don't know what to expect from the passing attack.
I don't think he's – I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what his little fucking tantrum was about last week, but I'm going to say this. You know who the number one receiver is for the Pittsburgh Steelers? It's not fucking George Pickens.
Deontay Johnson.
He makes the machine go.
Yep, I
And
agree.
you've seen it last week.
Yep. As far as the Packers go, Aaron Jones got 20 carries for the first time all year last week. He's starting to look like
Yeah, he's questionable.
he's starting to look like
He's questionable.
normal Aaron
He's
Jones.
always
He's
questionable.
going to
He's
play.
questionable again this week.
Dude,
Questionable every week.
just because the fantasy app always says they're questionable,
He's questionable.
doesn't mean that they're questionable.
Well, it's real simple. I am going to do this, and I'm going to take the Steelers in this, and I'm taking the under.
I'm going to take the Steelers and the under as well.
Across the board.
Next up, poop game of the week. The Tennessee Titans are heading down to Raymond James Stadium to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is a 1-point favorite. The over-under, we've got some steep over-unders this week.
How are they favored?
Tampa Bay is a 1-point favorite. The over-under in this
shitting me?
game is 39.5. Injury updates. Treylon Burks with a concussion will most likely be out. Sean Murphy Bunting has a thumb injury. He will be out. Ryan Tannehill is questionable. As far as Tampa Bay goes, Kalijah Cansey questionable, Jameel Dean questionable, Carlton Davis questionable. So
They'll all play.
typical defensive
They're at
back.
home, right?
It is at Tampa.
Okay.
Yep. Tampa, a 1-point favorite. The over/under 39.5.
I'm going to take Tampa in the under.
You are.
Yeah, we'll take Tampa in the under.
See, I'm gonna disagree with you here. I'm gonna go with Tennessee in this game, and it's well documented.
Tampa should have won the game last week. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but they should have won last week.
I agree.
They got outmatched. They got outmatched.
They should have won last week.
I think that Tennessee's on a hot streak right now. I think Will Levis is playing decent football, and this is the biggest reason why. Okay, let's go back to when Detroit played in Tampa. Tampa had no answer for Detroit's running game. David Montgomery ran at will until he got hurt. Jahmyr Gibbs came in and ran at will again. I think this is a monster Derrick Henry week. I think Will Levis does just what he needs to do to get the job done. And here's one thing we know. Tampa cannot run the football against anyone, let alone the Tennessee front, which has looked strong the last few games. I'm going to take Tennessee, and I'm going to take the under in this game as well.
Okay.
Did you just hear his little did you just hear him quiff?
I'm waiting for his pick.
I'm taking Tampa Bay.
Okay. Any reason?
No, I just really want them to fucking pull this one out.
Okay.
I've been taking them every week, and I'm just hoping that they.
I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm the one that's supposed to have the Tampa Bay hard on down here, and I just
like
don't
Baker,
know.
dude. I like Baker. I know
Let him
you
bake.
guys are not big Baker fans, but
Shake and bake.
Next up, the 5-3 San Francisco 49ers, coming off of their bye, are heading to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Jacksonville 6-2 and first in the AFC South. Frisco comes into this game as a 3-point favorite. The over/under is 45.
it's kind of low, no?
No, I think
I'm going to
that's
take
pretty
the
good.
over in this.
Honest to God,
I'm going to take the over
in this
because
as well.
obviously San Francisco's been lighting up some fucking points the past 3 weeks, and I'm gonna surprise everybody here. I'm taking Jacksonville.
Wow.
Taking Jacksonville in the over.
I can't figure this one out.
I don't think San Francisco will have an answer for Travis Etienne. I don't.
Debo's back this week.
I don't care about that. I don't think they'll have an answer for Travis Etienne.
They have
Travis
been
Etienne has been a monster the past 3 weeks.
Ever since Debo's been out, they've been losing.
Listen,
That's all I gotta say.
I'm going to say this much, okay? They cannot afford to lose another game. That's it.
No,
San
I
Francisco
agree with you, but I
cannot afford to
I
lose
think
another
Jacksonville
game.
is good enough to beat them. I think they match up with them pretty well.
Jacksonville, I think Jacksonville is a good matchup for them.
Yeah,
But, okay, San Francisco's coming off of the bye.
right.
Everybody should be good to go.
They're on the road.
They should have worked real hard on this bye week to right their 3-game losing streak. Now,
Yeah.
if there's anybody who can stop Travis Etienne, it should be San Francisco's front.
I don't know about that.
Here's the thing. I think there's going to be one X factor in this game that will let San Francisco win it by a touchdown, and that is none other than Christian McCaffrey coming off of the bye. He should be an absolute fucking monster. We have a 17-game streak of touchdowns. I don't expect it to end. I'm going to take the 49ers to win this game. I'm going to take the over. And I expect Christian McCaffrey, that is my bet, is anytime touchdown scorer. I'm taking him over on his yardage. I'm taking him over on everything I can this week. Because if we learned anything from the last 3 games, the less Brock Purdy has the opportunity to throw, if McCaffrey can get the job done, you let McCaffrey get the job done. That's it. And I think that Etienne, who is the heart and soul of this Jaguars offense, has an iffy game at best against the 49ers.
Okay.
It's
I
good
have
news for you.
I have the 49ers going to drop their 4th straight game.
Bruce?
I agree with everything you just said. I'm taking San Francisco. But I'm rooting for Jacksonville. I want
so am I.
Jacksonville to win.
I would love to see Jacksonville win. Next up, we have a
Divisional game.
between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. In this game in Baltimore, Baltimore's favored by 6.5 points. The over-under is 38. Wow. Uncle Sam.
Baltimore can
I'm going to take the over in this game. The over to 38.
hammer fucking that over. Holy
And I'm gonna take the Browns in this. I'm gonna take the Browns, and there's a reason for it.
What?
The 6 points seems like a lot to me in a divisional game, and I think you're really gonna see what Cleveland's defense is so much better than people think, and you're about to see it. Why?
Yeah, but Baltimore's D's better.
Anyway,
I'm going to shock you here. I agree with Bruce. I think Baltimore's defense right now is playing at the top of the NFL.
these divisional games are really, really tough.
God.
You know
have
what?
such a
I'm going to retract something. I'm going to take the under in this game.
You have such a hard-on.
I'm going to take the under in this game, and I'm taking Cleveland.
You have such a hard-on for the Cleveland Browns all of a sudden.
No, I don't. I just know what I see. That's all.
What do you mean you know what you
I know what
you
I see.
What have you seen?
I watch teams play.
Yes, that's
I
great.
watch
And you say the
schemes,
same
and
thing
I
every
know-
goddamn show. I watch the games. I've seen the teams play. Baltimore has blown everybody out and allowed 18 points in their last 3 games. Okay. What about that defense leads you to believe, if you're watching it, out of that leads you
This
to
is a divisional game, and
They do downplay
it will be played on a different level than the other 2 games were.
Didn't they lose to Pitt?
Who?
Baltimore or no?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Okay, I'm
I'm taking Cleveland in the under.
gonna make this one real easy for you. Cleveland has a nice defense, and that's great. Baltimore's defense is better.
Correct.
And shout out to Taylor in the chat. What's up, Taylor? Baltimore's defense is good. Okay. It's going to be a slobber knocker. I do agree with Angie. It's going to be a slobber knocker. At the end of the day, Cleveland's offense will not be able to put up points against Baltimore's defense. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. And do I think
Amari Cooper.
Oh, get the fuck out of here with Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper is fucking
Anytime touchdown, guarantee.
Angie, that's a real fan right there.
yeah.
Not that many people know what a slobber knocker
Not too many people date back to the slobber knocker days. I think Gus Edwards is my anytime touchdown scorer in this game. And I don't think he has a monster week, but I think that they're going to give him some goal line carries and get it done. And I'll tell you what,
This game is going to be played on a different level. You're going to see 2 teams really
You gotta
beat the
remember
living shit.
Can I be honest with
Watson
you?
is the
I don't see that.
What?
I don't see that. I think Cleveland right now is playing extremely ahead of where they're actually at. And I don't have any faith in Deshaun Watson still. I don't really give a fuck. Like, it doesn't do anything for me. They don't have a run game either. This Jerome Ford thing is cute, but think about how much they're missing Nick Chubb. If Nick Chubb plays in this game, if he was still there, we're having a whole different conversation. Give me Baltimore to cover, Baltimore to win, and I'm going to take the under in this
Was he
game.
there for when they lost? Or no?
No, Nick Chubb went out, I think, what was it, week 2? Week 2, week 3?
He had a really good week 1.
Yeah, and then he died.
Snapped his fucking leg.
Snapped his fucking leg fell. His leg sitting on 696 somewhere. Next up, this one could be, this could be such a hot steamer right here. Atlanta's heading to Arizona to play the Cardinals.
Kyler Murray.
1.5 point favorite. Arizona gets Kyler Murray back. Arizona gets James Conner back. Over under in this
Conner's
game's
back?
43.
Conner back?
James Conner is playing.
They took him off
Took him off IR, and he is
day or something.
still on the injury report, but he is expected to play.
Okay.
Aaron,
How rusty will Kyler Murray be?
Guess what? I'll say this much. If he is rusty, there's no better game to knock the rust off on than against Atlanta. And especially the way that Atlanta...
I don't have faith in Atlanta right now just because I don't like what they're doing offensively.
Exactly.
They don't run the football like they have in the past. And if they continue that trend, I don't see them being successful at all. I don't. So I am going to probably surprise a lot of people. I am going to take the Cardinals in this game.
I don't think you're surprising anybody.
Okay. I'm going to take the Cardinals, and what's the over-under?
Over-under in this one is 43.
43. I'm going to take the over.
I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm going to take Atlanta, and I'm going to take the under in this game. I think that Kyler Murray is going to have some rust. I think James Conner is going to have some rust. And here's the thing. Again, Atlanta at 4-5 is still sitting second in their division, only one game back. If Arthur Smith has any sort of fucking brain capacity left, they will take this Arizona game, playing a very weak opponent, to right this ship and start running the fucking football. If after this week, Atlanta's my pick to win that division. If after this week I don't see them right the ship, then I'm ready to write off. All right? They have they have one first-round talent at running back and Tyler Algier, who is probably one of the most serviceable number 2s in the league. Then you fluff our fucking shit up with this Cordero Patterson as the Joker all offseason, and you haven't utilized him yet either. Get this shit going. Get it fucking going. You've got Heineke in there now. You've got a gritty quarterback. Have him get the ball to Kyle Pitts. Have him get the ball to fucking to Drake London. Let's get it going now. I believe London is playing this week. You've got to get it going. If there's any week they're going to get it going, it's got to be against Arizona. I'm going to take Atlanta, and I'm going to take the under.
Taking Arizona. Kyler Murray, baby. I have a question, though.
Okay.
You have such a you're so slap happy for Taylor Heineke. But you're taking
What do you mean?
You're taking
It's not about what Heineke
It's not
does.
about Heineke. It's about the coach.
It's
About the coaching staff right now.
Let's be honest. It's the coaching staff. Heineke would be actually more effective if they ran the ball more. He would be a lot better, like a la what they were doing in Washington when
You're
he
saying
had
he's Brock Purdy?
Brian Robinson and Gibson.
Correct.
Yeah, and when he comes off the play action, that's when he's at his best. So I don't think the scheme that Atlanta's running is working. I don't like it.
Agreed.
Like ruining careers, man.
Huh?
The Lions like ruining teams.
Man,
Tampa Bay hasn't been able to recover, and neither.
I got a lot of shockers this week. Go ahead.
Next up, the New York Giants are heading to Dallas in a
Divisional game.
And Dallas is a let me put on my hold on, I gotta put on my glasses to make sure I'm reading this
The
right.
double digits.
Dallas is a 17-point favorite. And the over-under in this game is only 39, which means an implied final score in this game of 28-11. I haven't seen that, and I don't know if I've ever seen that.
What's his name again? Danny DeVito is the quarterback. Danny DeVito.
Tommy DeVito.
Danny
is
DeVito's the
QB1
quarterback.
for the Giants.
I will say this.
Any relation?
I'm going to take the Cowboys, and I'm going to take the 17, and I'm going to take the under.
Tommy DeVito is QB1. Matt Barkley is QB2. Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, both on IR. Saquon Barkley will play. I don't give a shit because if there's any team that is going to stop Saquon Barkley right now, it's probably Dallas's front. And I mean, I don't think they're going to stop him, but when you have here's the thing. When you have Dallas's front with no threat of throwing the football,
he's going
to be a dead man.
Yeah.
Angie just came in and said Dallas over 14 sacks in this game. Honestly, I
don't believe that.
Okay,
I don't think he'll drop back 14 times in this game. He shouldn't. He shouldn't drop back 14 times.
But
they should hand the ball to They should hand the ball to Barkley 35 fucking times
Yeah.
this week.
This is going to be
At least 35
There's
carries.
another ACL.
yeah, this will be Barkley's ACL.
His last
carry
game.
week. Yeah.
Last game of the year.
I'm going to take Dallas, and I'm going to take the under. Or you know what? I'm going to take the over in this because I think Dallas.
And I hate Dallas. I hate Dallas
Yes,
so
you
bad.
do.
You don't know how bad I would like to take the Giants in this, but I can't. It's not logical.
Honest to God, though, if there was a line out there, this is for Angie, where Dallas had was it over under 8 sacks? Honest to God, I think I would take the over on it. I could see an 8 or 9 sack game in this.
Yeah.
Like I said, if they're smart, he doesn't drop back that many times.
I mean, he's got to drop back at least 15.
Well, throw a few fucking screens. He's got to get rid of the ball. He hangs onto the ball more than 2 seconds, he's a dead man.
You want to know what's fucked up too? How could they not find a quarterback to throw in there? That's
I don't know.
Not better than Tommy DeVito.
There's nothing wrong with Danny DeVito.
Oh,
I love Danny DeVito.
Why? Because you guys are the same height?
Yeah.
DeVito's definitely way shorter.
You making a pick here?
Oh, I'm taking Dallas.
Okay.
No question.
Okay. I'm taking the over, though. I think Dallas hits it by themselves. Next up, in a battle for some NFC playoff seeding, possibly, Washington's heading to Seattle to play the Seahawks. Seattle's a 6.5-point favorite. The over-under in this game is 44.5. You want me to start this one?
Go ahead.
I'm going to take Washington to cover. I'm going to take Washington to win, and I'm going to take the under in this game.
Motherfucker. You just stole my thunder.
Why I wanted to go first. Go ahead.
There's a reason for it.
Go ahead.
I want to see another punching this week on Pete Carroll. I think if they come in focused and run the football, they'll be able to beat them. I don't know what's going on with Seattle right now. They did not look crisp at all last week. They not typical Seattle. Not. Defensively, I think Seattle's starting to play a lot better, but they were exposed last week in the secondary and up front.
I got rid of Walker at the perfect time.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it's because he didn't even get no carries.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But Seattle is not utilizing Kenneth Walker. They're trying to get Zach Charbonnet going on in third down situations. It's like you have one of the NFL's elite backs.
Yeah, he should be out there on every fucking play. There's no reason why Charbonnet should be out there unless it's to give Kenneth Walker a blow.
Here's another thing. This is another piece I don't understand. You draft Jackson Smith and Jigba. You haven't utilized him. DK Metcalf hasn't been utilized. He has 28 receptions on the year. Tyler Lockett's been banged up all year. So where is the offense going? They're very much like New Orleans right now, where we have
I really like what they've done defensively, Seattle, but you know what? The offense, I expected a lot more. I expected more out of their offense.
Last year.
I expected that offense that came here in Detroit and fucking ass punched the Lions. That's what I expected.
Yeah, and we just haven't seen
it the last 3 weeks.
It's not an ass fucking.
I think Washington's on the come up. And I think Seattle's on the come down.
Sam Howell. Is Sam Howell a legitimate starting quarterback in the league?
I believe so.
I think so too. I like Sam Howell. I don't think it was a bad decision to go with him over Heineke because I think he's a better version of Heineke.
The over-under in that game is 44.5. I think I'm going to take under again. I think this is going to be a week of unders.
Under.
It's at Seattle, right?
Yep.
Seattle's got a good D, and so does Washington.
I'm going to take the under too. I'm going to take Washington in the under.
Next up, the Jets are heading to Las Vegas to play the Raiders.
This gets interesting.
Vegas is a 1-point favorite in this game. The over-under is 36.5. Shocked to see that 1 point.
What Raider team are we going to see? We're going to see that Raider team that was played last week again?
I think we will.
Are we going to see that?
I think Antonio Pierce has got these guys ready to go.
I think so too. I've seen these guys smoking cigars and rapping to music, and they were all fired up.
He was smoking weed in that interview.
He was smoking a fucking backwood. Yes, he was smoking weed.
Who was?
Max Crosby was smoking weed in the post-game interview.
Oh, God. All right.
Okay.
I'm going to do this. I'm taking the Jets,
Oh,
and I'm taking the under.
I'm taking Vegas, and I'm taking the over because the bigger question here is not which Raiders team are we going to see, because I think we all know that we're going to see an Antonio Pierce-led Raiders team. The Raiders have hit their rock bottom and are on the way up. Which Zach Wilson are we going to see? Are we going to see the Zach Wilson that's semi-competent? Or are we going to see the Zach Wilson that has fucking Dookie in his Pampers because Max Crosby's 6 inches up his butt the entire day? I'm going to go Raiders. I'm going to take the over.
This is hard. This is poop. I'm going to take the Jets.
Worthless.
Brees Hall.
Good. That's how you know you fucked up. Yeah, I think Brees Hall does have a nice game, but at the same time, it's Zach Wilson will mistake his way out of this law. When the head coach says, "Why are you still starting your quarterback?" and he says, "I plead the fifth," you know there's some fucking issues.
That's
all I'm gonna say.
But they had plenty of opportunities to win that game last week, and I think if he doesn't fuck up, I think they can win.
Like I said, they came off a bye, and this fucking guy looked like he forgot how to play football.
Right.
I think he redeems himself this week. I do.
Give me Aiden O'Connell for the dub. Next up, the Denver Broncos are heading up to Buffalo to play. Oh, this is a Monday night game. Should we wait till Monday?
Do now? Why not?
You want to do it now?
I'll do it now. Fuck yeah.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.
If you want to hear what I got to say, go ahead.
Denver Broncos are heading to Buffalo to play the Bills. Buffalo, a 7.5-point favorite, and we'll preview this game in more detail on Monday. But the over/under is 46.5. Quick pick,
I'm going to take the over and the Broncos.
Bruce.
I agree.
Listen, the Broncos had their Super Bowl already. Okay, Broncos had their Super Bowl against the Chiefs. The Bills have heard nothing but how fucking shitty they are. I don't think this can continue. The problem here is Buffalo's defense is decimated right now.
Yes, that's why I am taking the Denver Broncos.
I'm going to take Buffalo to win, to cover this game, and I'm going to take the over in it. If nothing changes before Monday,
Exactly. You have all weekend.
I think that's the way we're going to go. Yeah, and here's the thing. Supposedly Fournette's going to play. And if they utilize Fournette properly, this Buffalo offense could really start to fucking click.
I will say I want to see him first.
Yeah, but you know they don't.
Because I haven't seen we haven't seen him on the field since what? Last year? I need to see what he looks like.
So you know what it's going to come down to. Them behind. Josh Allen's going to put the game on his back.
Buffalo shouldn't be behind in this game. There's no reason for
know.
Buffalo to be behind in this.
I don't
Better
know.
watch it, man.
Buffalo's D
Javonte
is
Williams
not good,
fucking
dude.
showed that he's back last week.
I don't know. know.
Okay.
I'm not all in there yet. Not all in on Denver yet.
I'm just saying that Buffalo's defense, their linebacker core is fucking decimated.
Can I remind you, outside of the Kansas City game, the last time Denver played a high-powered offense,
Okay.
it was a 70-20 loss to Miami.
Okay. Do you think they're high powered?
Who?
Do you think Buffalo's as high powered as Miami?
Not as high-powered as Miami.
I mean,
but
they got one guy who's
lost to
high
the
powered like
Patriots.
Miami. One.
who?
No?
Yeah, Buffalo lost to the Patriots. And Denver beat the Chiefs.
Right.
Yeah, so this
At Kansas
is
City.
actually a good matchup.
At Kansas City.
I
no?
don't buy. I'm not buying into this matchup yet.
That was at Kansas
At
City.
Kansas
yeah.
City.
I'm not.
I
there yet.
believe. Or no, was
Okay.
that the
So Kansas City on a bye
no,
this
that
week?
wasn't the London.
Kansas City is indeed on a bye.
Okay.
This week. So those are the picks.
What game did we miss?
We didn't.
Oh, the Lions.
Oh Jesus.
Save the best for last.
Okay, can I I'll give you guys a preview on this one. So the Lions are in LA to play the Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Detroit's a 3-point favorite. Big over-under in this game, 48.5. And somehow within the next minute, Uncle Sam's going to tell you how the Lions are going to come in flat off of their fucking bye and the Chargers are going to win and fucking Austin Eckler is going to have a fucking day against the Lions front because the Lions don't have a proper defensive tackle. So go ahead.
What's the over-under?
Over-under is 48.5.
I'm going to take the under in this game, and I'm taking the Chargers.
Knew it.
I don't think Detroit will have an answer for Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa this week.
That's a joke. That's the honest to God out of
is the
every
biggest
shitty fucking take
joke.
you've had this year, outside of the one where New England got asshole popped by fucking 70. That's the worst take you've had. Not only do the Lions have the best offensive line in football right now, according to PFF, everybody's healthy.
PFF
Guess
is
what? Can I ask you a question? Have you actually looked at Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack on the year? They are one of the bottom 10 in quarterback pressures, quarterback hits, and sacks. Khalil Mack had one fucking game where he had an absolute tear, and outside of that, nothing. Radio silence.
Who's better, Max Crosby or Joey Bosa?
sorry.
Right now, who's better, Max Crosby or Joey Bosa?
Well, obviously, Max Crosby.
Yeah, and they
What does
shut
that
him
got
the
to do
fuck
with
out.
They
anything?
Look
shut
how
Max
that
Crosby
happened.
down with an offensive
Who
line
shut
that
Max
was halfway
Crosby
hurt.
down?
The Lions.
What? He had a sack. He had like fucking 8 tackles in the
So
sack.
that's what you think's going to be the difference here is one fucking sack? Come on.
I feel that Detroit will not have an answer for the defensive line for.
Yes, but how? You have to remember, that doesn't make any logical sense.
I feel
their
that
offensive line is healthy.
they don't have an answer for Keenan Allen in their secondary. I just don't think they'll have an answer for him.
Matt Calupina in the chat just said he knows what he sees. Don't question that old man. I agree.
That's
we
right.
Question
don't
the
fucking
old man.
question me ever.
The meds haven't kicked in yet this morning. It's too early. Listen, give me the Lions here. I'm going to take the Lions absolutely -3. Lions offensive line's coming into this game completely healthy, okay? That's a huge plus. David Montgomery, who Uncle Sam's claims is the catalyst.
The key to the engine.
The key to the engine is playing.
You change up. You say he's the key, then you say he's the engine.
Okay.
Which one is he?
And guess
he's
what?
the key, bud.
Here's the thing.
He's the key. If he goes off for 100 yards and a touchdown this week, they'll win. Period.
You're a joke.
It's not going to happen.
You're a joke.
because They have Gibbs.
David
and
Montgomery's playing. Gibbs, we're gonna finally get to see how both of them interact in the field together. I think they both have a huge day. I don't think that the Lions' offensive line gives up an inch to this shitty front that the Chargers have. That's great. If Uncle Sam wants to live in the past like he usually does and think Khalil Mack is still elite, he can do that, all right? But just like Von Miller, he's going to slip up just like Von Miller did last week. Joey Bosa's overrated, and at the end of the day, there's nobody in that Chargers secondary outside of Derwin James who's going to give Jared Goff or any of their receivers a problem, period. It's not going to happen.
2 deep threats now, too. J-Mo and
Oh, God.
Jones.
If I got to hear J-Mo one more time, I'm going to throw up in this garbage.
They're not going to
Donovan
need him.
Peoples
They're not going to need him.
Trash.
They're not going to
trash.
need him. They're not going to need him.
It just
There's
opens
not
everything up for Gibbs. And
Absolutely,
Montgomery,
it does.
What I'm trying to say.
That offense is going to be
Okay,
wide
well,
open.
hey, this is my pick, not yours.
Yeah, I know. It's
mine.
dog shit, but you can claim
I decided to go with what I seen
it. Give me the
on
line.
Monday. They are on a short week, and I actually like them. They're match up very well with Detroit.
Give me the Lions -3.
Okay.
Give me the over. Give me both David Montgomery and Amon-Ra St. Brown as anytime touchdown scorers. Also throw one in there for Austin Eckler because inevitably he will get one. Outside of that, there's no question in my mind. You know what? That matchup sounded so much better. It sounded so much better with the offensive line hurt. It sounded so much better without David Montgomery. That all sounds great. Yeah. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you for that. Justin Herbert's thumb is still about to fall off.
That's on his
Still
not
playing
throwing
great
hand,
ball.
honey.
I don't give a shit.
That's on his not throwing hand, honey. It's irrelevant.
Herbert guy.
Win. They're going to win bigly. Bigly.
Okay.
Do you make a pick?
I hope I'm wrong.
I'm obviously taking the fucking Lions. Come on now.
Of course, he's swaying.
Anyways, anything to add before we end off another week? Anything to add? Oh, President Baker made it. He's up.
Whatever.
Now you're just gonna have to rewind all.
Yeah.
Watch the.
Prez, start it from the beginning. Anything to add before we finish?
I don't know. You got anything to add?
No, that's it.
What about you?
Forward down the field, a charging team that will not yield. And when the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave.
Where's my fucking drill?
I don't know.
Where's my drill,
No,
asshole?
everybody was requesting. We took it away.
Motherfuckers.
Good. We're drillless.
I actually don't know where it's at. I didn't touch it.
Maybe did
It was
crew
dead.
come down here
You-
and
you
take
probably took it.
Yeah.
It was dead.
it? Is that it? Anything to add?
Did you plug it in at least?
I don't know where it went. I did not have the drill.
Is it by your feet?
No, the drill. If I had to guess,
I know you took it out of here.
I swear
You took it out of here because you don't like me drilling.
I swear to God, I didn't. I bet you it's in the fucking garage, and you're senile.
In the
ass didn't
garage?
see it
Yeah, you
in
probably
there.
have Rico
None of your
come down
tools
here
are
and
in the
grab it.
garage. They're never in
Anyways.
the fucking garage.
Oh,
anyway.
President Baker said he's going to come up to Joy Road and see you. Angie wants the drill back. Angie wants 2 drills. Zolo goes, "Hey, where's Trent?" I don't know who Trent is. If you mean Zolo, Zolo's in LA. Anyways,
Listen,
Where's Trent?
shout out to Zolo. I wish you were here right now. None of this makes any sense.
Good. Are we done?
I don't know. Are we done?
I think we're done.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tip Balls, TikTok at Tip Balls Podcast. If you're listening on Apple Music or Spotify, make sure to check us out on YouTube. Remember to subscribe. Join us in the chat. It's always a good time. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy Week 10. We will be back on Monday with a recap. And remember, there's a 9:30 game. Set your lineups. Goodbye.